Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vage. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. I am good. I am back in Panama. I'll be here for about a week, and then it will be Christmas vacation time with family on a night on another nice Caribbean island.
Yeah,
How's Japan?
sucks to be Tone Vage. Yeah, no, look, this is the best. It's my favorite time of the year. You know, Japan in winter in Tokyo is like blue skies every day, maximum of like 18 degrees, minimum of like 2 degrees. But that might sound cold. It's not cold. I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts outside. It's glorious, but it's cold in the evenings and nights. It's just fantastic. My favorite time of the year by far. Hey, I'll go first to the charts because we don't know how long my voice is going to hold in. I think I made a pretty good assessment yesterday, so today's not going to take as long as yesterday did, even though yesterday weren't that long either. Starting on the 4-hour time frame. Tony, my screen looks all right. We're all good to go.
You're good.
I'll take that as a yes. Look, I drew this line in yesterday and I deleted it and put it back in. But this is what I said in yesterday's show. I really think that we've got further downside to go. And it really did do exactly that. For all the reasons I mentioned in yesterday's show from the 4-hour uply, I thought the whole price was rolling over. Now, we're in a funny right now. We've got a couple of green diamonds on the 4-hour time frame, which sort of ran the price up. I don't see them as buy signals while the wave is red. You know that because you can see what happens. This situation that previously happened. If this was a green wave, I would be highly surprised to see the price deteriorate. In fact, it would never get this far low while retaining a green wave. It's just the way the system's built. I view green diamonds as great buy signals while the wave is green. They are to be ignored when the wave is red for that reason right there, that you can just print green diamonds indefinitely forever on the 4-hour time frame. I'm looking at the higher time frames of 3-day and weekly for those green diamonds. God, am I doing that? But as it stands right now, we did exactly what I thought we would do. I thought it would break down. Now we put in a higher low, but I don't like the structure. Right now, as it stands, the MRI count is giving you a green star. Now, I do think that there's going to be some upside here because of the dip, and it's rallying pretty well right now as I speak. Now, I think there's a high chance that we'll come back and touch this breakdown point, this line that I drew in. There's probably an equally as high chance that we'll come back and touch the 30 simple moving average at, that 89,500. Definitely see that on the cards. Once again, not excited about Bitcoin, even if it comes to 89,500. I still see all of these as dead cat bounces until they ain't. And as far as I'm concerned, they still are. 4-hour is in that same situation. I'm just trying to make that point that the higher low that we put in from the previous low, I don't think it'll sustain. I think that there's further downside, and whether that's today or later in the week, I really think that we've got further downside. Despite that, someone might argue that it's a higher low. I don't see it. The daily. Okay, this is that rollover that I mentioned in yesterday's show. I said that in yesterday's show, I didn't like where we opened the weekly candle and the daily candle. I thought that validated this idea here. The rally that we had throughout the day only came to the 30 simple. This is all yesterday's show stuff, and today has proven nothing more to me. We finished as a red candle, even though the price was at, what was it in yesterday's show, 89. The little bump we've had today, I think this candle will probably end red as well. If not, as I said, come back and retouch those moving averages that I said on the 4-hour time frame. It's just as valid. 89,500 on the daily. It's the same thing. That's the 7 and the 30 simple on the daily, just like it was a 30 simple on the 4-hour. That's a great cluster to come and throw back and retouch on to get, I would go short at that period. Really, if I was actively trading, I'd be looking to short at that 89,500 because you got a good stop loss at higher, at the higher prices to buffer. If we were to get through it, you could change your opinion quite quickly. I see that fading down. That MRI acceleration line there at 84. Once that breaks, I think boom, downside, green diamonds. all across the board. Very exciting stuff. And I am excited about these prices. I am, because I think that we as a sophisticated community have insight here with these green diamonds, and with what we know, with our belief in Bitcoin, that while the world is crumbling, we will be there as a collective to pick up the pieces. That I don't like how the weekly looks again. I don't whatsoever. There's no reason to continue to go into it. All the oscillators are still pointing net negative, flat down. They will, as I said in yesterday's show, it's going to be very, very exciting when they all roll over. But as it stands, they ain't. So hands in the pockets, wait for the great opportunity. It's coming, folks. And if I'm wrong, you can buy back in a rampant bull market. It's all good. That's just as good. Trying to pick now as the bottom is you know something I don't know. And if you do know something I don't know, please like and subscribe. And as I come back to you in the studio, put it in the comment section. Please enlighten us. Why is now the time to buy and not a green diamond? Why is it not at the bottom? Tell me why you should plant a flag in the ground right now. I could never say that. As I said, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Tone, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm dreaming, mate.
Give me a second. I'm like messing up with screen share stuff. Okay. Monthly chart. Haven't looked at the chart in about a week or so. Yes, it doesn't want to cooperate either. So that's okay. Weekly chart. Remember what I said yesterday? Hey, we can get an MRI buy if only this week closes below 86,000, or technically just below 87,000. And we're right there. So we are just a few dollars shy of printing the red 8. Now, of course, we need to be at this level. And there it is. There's the red 8 as I speak. However, we do need to be at this level at the close. And the close is still about 5 days away. I think we're going to get that red 8. I mean, Michael Saylor just bought more Bitcoin. So who else is there left buying? As Matt said, people are scared of Bitcoin price right now. So let's wait and see how this week ends. But I'm not very optimistic for the rest of the week. I do think we're going to close, get that red 8, which means the MRI buy is coming next week. At the moment, we are consolidating at the lows, which is bearish. And if we get near 78, that's a double bottom, which is also bearish. So the only way I'm going to really, really, really be bullish on this MRI buy is if somehow we're at around 71 next week, like at the end of year. Like if the year is closing at 71, I think next year is going to be one of the best performing years for Bitcoin, because I think next year we're going to be up over 100% on the year. But that also means that year to date is going to close very, very negative, and all the haters are going to say, see, this is what happens to Bitcoin. Everyone thought that 2025 is going to be the great year for Bitcoin, and it lost 20%. Where did we open 2025? We opened 2025 on over here somewhere. Here. This candle here. That was December 30th candle. So we're opening the year at about 95, and right now we're sitting at 86. So if we, fall into 71 by end of year, that's a 25% drop in a year that everyone, including myself, expected to be a bullish year with a Bitcoin top, closer to 200K. But the year didn't work out that way. So we continue to wait and see. I mean, I'm going to delete this arrow. Like, I'm not even bullish on, I'm not even bullish into the dead cat bounce anymore. This is just a very bearish looking chart. And if you planned any Bitcoin purchases at year end, May want to hold off on those a little bit till Bitcoin goes back up in price. It's just the weekly chart looks terrible. Daily chart. Okay, also doesn't want to cooperate. Here we go. We are officially outside of this bullish channel. Therefore, this bullish channel is getting deleted. It's over. The bullish channel no longer applies. And now we are just watching the bearish channel. We actually fell out of the channel a little bit, recovered, and now we're back right in the middle of the channel. On the daily scale, we are, I'm going to clean up my chart a bit. I'm going to drop settings. Don't want to pull up either.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to pose you a question that no one called you on in the group chat, and I'm all ears, man. Why? What is your bullish case, and why are you? Did you say that you think 2026 could be 100% return year? $200,000 Bitcoin, blah blah blah. Why? I mean, I want to know why. I agree, but why?
Well, because the prior bull market significantly underperformed, and I just don't see a case for an advanced bear market because the bull market underperformed. So the ETFs are still slowly accumulating Bitcoin. The industry is slowly getting more and more comfortable with Bitcoin. The geopolitical structures are only going to get worse. We're witnessing what's happening right now with Europe officially trying to confiscate Russian money. That's going to create more concern in the global financial system. I see the U.S. getting itself involved in more wars, not less, going forward. And I see institutions and other countries becoming more comfortable with Bitcoin because one of the things that happened in this past year of Bitcoin underperforming is that on the one hand, it underperformed. We didn't break 200,000. We didn't break 250,000. On the other hand, this is fairly stable. Bitcoin is hovering in the $80,000 to $120,000 range. And the longer it stays in this range on a longer term picture, the more comfortable more companies and more countries will get. And Michael Saylor's average buying of Bitcoin is somewhere in the $70,000 range. So yes, he has a lot of Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin goes and if Michael Saylor gets put into a negative position, other companies are going to say, haha, look at Michael Saylor. He's been buying Bitcoin for like 5 years, and look, we're getting in at a lower price than he is, right? So I think it will be like a funny statement by some of these companies, right? Sometimes you don't have to be early; you have to be on time, right? So it's being early ain't always great. Lots of companies were early, like MySpace was early, right? I just see the industry and more governments becoming more comfortable with Bitcoin, and time will help. So I don't see 2026 being a massive bearish year for Bitcoin. Now, had Bitcoin gone up to like 250,000 in 2025, I can foresee 2026 being a pretty nasty year, but that didn't happen. So because this bull market is underperforming, I think I'm not expecting a big bear market.
That's really well said, and I agree completely. And just to add to that point of me talking about these weekly green diamonds ad nauseum, imagine, and I'll pose this question to you, Tone, and to the audience. No, it's not a question, it's a statement. Imagine we get that washout green diamond that's, it was only ever happened 3 times in the history of Bitcoin. One was at like $300, one was at $3,000, one was at $17,000, and it happens at $70,000. And it happens in like this year or January of next year. That being the washout, that being the new floor is like 70K, let's call it Michael Saylor's average entry price, something like that. Oh, that excites me so much to think that, hey, we might get another 3 good years now. And the washout didn't hurt that much. We went from 130,000 to 70,000. that should be so painful, but it wasn't that painful. It was all right. We barely noticed it. And now we can really gear up. That's what I think is going to happen, personally.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get another one of these phantom candles coming off of 70.
Yeah, well, the whole thing has to roll over. Right at the moment, everything in order. The first thing we're looking for, the only thing we're looking for, is a weekly green diamond. Then they all roll over.
I
Then
think
we'll
you're
get
going to get it. I think you're going to get the weekly
So do
green
I.
diamond sometime
So
in
do
the
I.
next 6 weeks.
And I think if you don't have alphanumetrics, or if you're not in the Discord because you can't be bothered spending the money for alphanumetrics, that's fine too. Join the Discord, because it'll be all posted there. That Discord will go on fire with 1,000 people commenting. We got it. 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 And I'll be one of those voices. Get in there, guys.
All right, hourly chart. We did this show yesterday right here at the 8 a.m. candle on a red star candle coming off an MRI top. So I was not very thrilled with the situation. And then right after we got off the show, everything fell apart. We bottomed out at an MRI buy. And here we are again on an MRI top. So I'm not very optimistic right now as this show's coming to an end. This is our watch on March 18th. March 18th may mark the low. Could be around the time of that UASF, which is also not helping the price of Bitcoin at all. Jimmy Song and I are going to do more shows either this week or next week. I'm going to message him after this to try and get another Knots versus Bitcoin Core education stream going. This is the underperforming cycle, significantly underperforming, total disaster. But we could cross over into the purple in 2026. And I think that is a good time for us to cross over in a follow-up bull market. And the crossover would take place at 140,000. And our earliest time we can cross over is in May. And the latest time we can cross over is actually all the way at the end of next year. We can cross over this purple. I do think we're going to cross into the purple at some point, because this was a very underperforming bull. So the additional bull market should come next year. And this is the bear cycle. Bear cycle should be bottoming us out at that time, but I think this is where things are going to flip.
Can I just have a look at one thing? I just want to look at the EXA on Bitcoin on the weekly. Mr. Fanny, or whatever that says, 123 brought it to my attention. It might have crossed bullish on the EXA. I'd be interested to see it. It looks like it's no.
Yeah, but it looks like a double cross. It looks something like this.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like we did cross, but now we're crossing back down again. So we're already in a double cross. So it looks like it's similar to what happened in March of 2025. And if we go back to March of 2025, it does look a lot like it, with an MRI buy coming in as well.
Yeah.
And this is repeating. So we got a chance at something like this repeating. Now, keep in mind that back then we had a new low close on candle number 8. And we're on candle number 8 right now. What's flipping between 1 and 8. And this was also flipping between 1 and 8, because when we were up here in this wick, it was also flipping to a 1, but it ended up closing as an 8 at a new swing low. A new closing low. The swing low came on the MRI candle, which could happen. But remember, our swing is so much lower. Our swing is all the way down below 81,000. So in order for us to swing low, we got to go into the 70s. Maybe we're just going to get a new low close on this candle and then reverse early next week for the holiday season and not actually make a new swing low, which is still okay. I mean, the MRI doesn't care if there is or isn't a swing low. It's just that this I'm more bullish on because I got the swing low and the swing close in the MRI candle.
And
But
we
this right now,
sustained the 50 simple moving average too. It was a totally different setup at that point.
right, like before before I back in my when did I start trading with MRI or similar indicators? I started trading with these things around 2009, 2008, 2009, 2010, I think is when I learned it.
Yeah.
So prior to that, right, if I was trading in 2006, I would not have known about any indicators like it. And I would have been very, very bearish on current candle and even next candle. I would not be looking for a bottom at all. Only because of MRI am I looking for a bottom next week, even though I'm not as confident in it if we are sitting exactly at this level versus if we were at 71 because of the structure.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, I agree. I wouldn't be looking for a buy without the green diamond, which is very funny that you say that with the MRI buy. I'd love them to correlate well together. I don't think anything goes better than the MRI and alphanumerics. But just to your point on the EXA, if the EXA was way lower, I would feel different about it than where it is now. And also, I believe all of those oscillators will roll. Will all roll, and they'll all roll similarly. So how much stake do I put in the EXA by itself? It's just one part. I wouldn't trade on one part. I need all of them to click.
All right, we gotta finish up, and I think my computer is lagging today. So Bitcoin dominance chart is looking good. We are at a multi-month high in Bitcoin dominance. And your shitcoin season is definitely over, especially if Bitcoin crashes. If Bitcoin crashes to 71, Bitcoin dominance will probably break 70.
Sayonara. Yep.
Gold is in its topping process. I will be talking about this the rest of the month. And if gold is bullish all of next month, I will be incredibly surprised. Because this is also the yearly top in gold. This is not just a monthly top. This is also the yearly top. I would be very, very surprised if gold continues bullish next year. Incredibly surprised. And the same goes for silver. Silver will follow gold. And once gold starts going down, I think silver is going to drop a lot.
I think you need to stay away from the gold and silver analysis, brother, because you'll start to sound like an inverse Peter Schiff waiting for that crash that will happen at one point. You'll be right. And
no, but the thing is, right, like
the worlds keep going into war. Japan is fucking loading up their military to go fuck up China, and China's not having a bar of it. I think gold's going to be handy for a bit.
All of that could be true, but unlike Peter Schiff, my analysis of a gold top, it's not emotional. It is technical. It is technical analysis, right? And based on the yearly MRI top, technically, gold can top next year. If we go back on the annual MRI tops in gold, you can see that
it could go to 10,000.
Back in 2010, in the year 2010, it had an MRI top. But when did the top come? It came the following year. Because as I always say, MRI tops are the candle before, candle of, and the candle after. It's really easy when it's a daily MRI top. You have a 3-day window. But what happens when it's a yearly MRI top, right? It's a 3-year window, right? So it's just the way the indicator works. And we are on an MRI top. This is a massive yearly candle. I think this year should mark the top. But yes, technically speaking, it can come next year. This is why something like this, this comes around. A top like this only comes around once in a generation, once every 20 years. So yes, it may take, some time for it to top. So I'm really fascinated by this. I'm still expecting gold to go to the top.
And just to be clear, I'm just teasing you,
All right, and let's wrap this up. Let me run through oil. Oil is marking a new 4-year low in oil prices. That is a little surprising, considering with right. So Matt. So based on that logic, right? Well, gold's gonna go up because of all of the geopolitical insanity. Then why is oil going down because of the same geopolitical insanity, right? Like
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know. It should be the. I think gold and oil should be correlated. They're not.
right. So liquid gold is crashing, but yet the hard gold is not. Anyway, the S&P is near an all-time high, and I think it will continue to go towards an all-time high. Feds lowered the rate. I'm actually curious what the expectation is for the next Fed. Wow, they are expecting to cut again? No, they're not. The current is, no, they're not. They're not expecting to cut again. They're expecting them to hold them steady in January. And finally, someone very early in the comments asked for the Romanian currency. I actually forgot that Romania had its own currency. I thought they were dumb enough to switch to the euro. But they're not dumb enough to switch to the euro. So
what's it? Andrew Tate's fighting in 2 weeks in Dubai. Maybe that's why it's on a rally. Is it?
Is he broke? Why is he fighting?
Because it's fun, and the guy he's fighting sucks dick. You know. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. It's late in the show. It's all right.
And I can pick on Andrew Tate all day. He doesn't have his girls to beat up on. He's got to go fight a guy finally. I really don't like Andrew Tate. I hate Andrew Tate. I know there's a lot of people, and I've had these debates with people that credit Andrew Tate for encouraging them to have masculinity again.
Changing their life.
Man, I really hate that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't worship false idols except for Tone Vase.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like pimps, and he's a pimp. So, so Romanian currency is not looking good. I don't see the bottom here. Yes, it's creating a higher low, and the currency might devalue against the dollar, but overall structure not looking great. And the weekly is on a red star candle. Oh, sorry, that's the monthly is on a red star candle, and the weekly is coming off an MRI top, heading down. So don't see much good there. All right. And on this note, we can wrap up.
Yeah, terrific, guys. I'm going to go watch Stranger Things with my wife. I haven't liked the show since season 1, but I continually watch it. Like, there's nothing else to ever watch. It's like an event, the last event that TV has.
Wait, what are you watching?
Stranger Things. You've seen it.
Jesus, you've seen it. I saw season 1, and I don't know. I didn't make time for the rest.
Oh, season 1 was so exciting with the 80s music and the theming and stuff like that. And then I have not enjoyed it ever since. But it's the only thing that can get her to sit next to me. Have a lovely day, and we hopefully will bring you a show tomorrow. And I don't know what's going to happen with the price. I think we got further downside to go. I seriously do. I'd be keeping an eye out for that. Green diamonds, Tone.
Yep, I got you. And I just came back from Mexico, and I was wondering why the hell everything was so expensive. That's because I went to Mexico at a bad time. The Mexican peso is appreciating, which is good for people in Mexico. Not for exporters, but good for the economy of Mexico.
Yeah.
All right.
You can send them all home.
See you guys tomorrow.
You can make more money there.